Hello friends, welcome to my channel, myself Parag Jambulkar. In this video, we will see dense matrix multiplication algorithms. Out of that, in this video, we will see matrix vector multiplication, and in next video, we will see matrix multiplication algorithms. For matrix vector multiplication, there are two techniques. One is row-wise 1D partitioning and another is 2D partitioning. This is for parallel matrix vector multiplication. But before proceeding further, we will see some terminology. We use term dense matrix. Dense matrix is also called as full matrix. Now what do you mean by dense matrix or full matrix? Matrix in which most of the elements are non-zero elements. Such kind of matrix is called as dense matrix. So here we will see matrix vector multiplication. But before that, how matrix multiplication are done serially? Look at this. Suppose these are the two matrices and we are multiplying. So this is the resultant matrix. How we get this resultant matrix? So this C1 value is calculated from this row and this column. C2 value is calculated from this row and this column. So how C1 is calculated? A1 into B1 plus A2 into B3. How C2 is calculated? A1 into B2 plus A2 into B4. And in this way, other values C3 and C4 are calculated. Now, we'll focus on matrix and vector multiplication. Whatever the matrix that we are considering, that is a square matrix. So here, this is a square matrix and this is a vector. Vector, again, it is a matrix. It has n rows and one column. Now this is a resultant matrix. How it will be done serially? So there will be only one process and that one process is calculating all these values. Now instead of using one process, we will do it parallelly. So instead of having single process, we will have multiple processes. So there are two ways to do matrix vector multiplication. There are two techniques. One is row-wise 1D partitioning and another is 2D partitioning. Now look at this. We are talking about row-wise 1D partitioning. Now look at this. This is one matrix and this is vector, and that two we have to multiply. We have to multiply this matrix with this vector. Now how it is done? In 1D partitioning technique, in row-wise 1D partitioning technique, this whole row and first value or first element of this vector is allocated to one process. So see, there are total p processes starting from p0 to p minus 1. Okay, this is the process p0, p1 up to p minus 1. There are total p processes. Every process has this one row and one element from this vector. This second process has this complete row and one element from the vector. Again, same way, this third P2 process will have this row and this one element. So we are considering number of processes equal to number of rows of this matrix. Now see, here this process has this value, this process has this value, this process will have this value. But for finding multiplication, so like this, to find out this value, we require this complete row and this complete column. But here, what are the process which has this row? It has only this one element. Second process has this one row and only second element. Third process has this row and this element only. But to calculate this value, so this process will calculate this value, this process will calculate this value, and the third process will calculate this value. So each process requires this complete row. So already they have that row but they require this complete vector. This process also require a complete vector. This third process also requires complete vector, but they don't have complete vector value. They have only single value from this. So this P1 process will have this complete row and only one value from this vector. Second process will have this complete row and only second value. Third process have complete row and third value. And because of that, here it is shown diagonally, just symbolically it is shown. So this is the vector, this is the vector, here it is shown. So this process have first value of this vector, second process have this value, third process have this value. Yeah. Now see, for multiplication every process require all elements of this vector, but they have only one value of the vector. So now for that, what they will do, they will perform this communication, that is all to all broadcast. In the sense, for example, here you can see P0 process have zeroth element of vector. So it will broadcast to all the processes. P1 process has this one element, this element only. So it will broadcast to all the processes. This third process or P2 process have this element, so it will broadcast to all the processes. In the same way, all these processes will broadcast whatever the values they have from this vector to all the other processes. So here you can see, now every process can access all the values from this vector. So here you can see these are the values from the vector. So now this process already it has this complete row. Along with that, it has this complete vector 0 to p minus 1. This is a vector value. This is a vector value. Again, these are the vector value. After that, this p0 process will find out multiplication of this, and again it will find out multiplication of this. So whatever the element was there and the first value of the vector, again it will find out this multiplication, this multiplication, this multiplication, and at the end this process will sum up all these values. So we will get resultant this one, we will get this one. So in short, what they have done, so see, this processes has this complete row and one value from the vector. This another process has this complete row and one value. But all the processes have only one value from this vector. But for multiplication, these processes require a complete row and this complete vector. But they have only one value from the vector. So these processes, what they will do, they will broadcast the value to all the other processes. So for example, this process have this value, so it will broadcast this value to all the other processes. This process has this value, so it will broadcast this process to all the other processes. So because of that, result of this is this vector is broadcasted to all the processes, and afterwards they will multiply it and they find out the sum, so that we will get the final resultant value. So this is how row wise 1D partitioning technique is done, or is it is applied. So here instead of one process we are using multiple processes. Now, okay, now in this case, suppose here what we have considered, this is a matrix, it has n rows and n columns, as we have considered it is a square matrix. How many processes we have taken? P is equal to n. P is equal to n. That is number of processes equal to number of rows. But what if P is lesser than, P is smaller than n? So in that situation, P will have n by P rows. So instead of having one row, each process will have multiple rows. So in that situation, each process will have n by p rows. As p is smaller than n, each process will have n by p rows and n by p elements of vector. And again, each process will broadcast n by p values of the vector to all the other processes. Again, they will do all to all broadcast. So all the processes, they will share, they will broadcast n by p values of vector to all the other processes. Now, second technique is 2D partitioning. Now, see, how 2D partitioning is done. In this case, see, this is a n by n matrix, and this is n by 1 matrix, that is a vector. In this case, what we are doing, in previous case, what we have done, we have allocated complete row to one process, complete row to one process, complete row to one process. In this case, in 2D partitioning, what we will do, we will allocate one element to one process. So here there will be one process, here there will be one process, here will be one process. So all these elements we are allocating to different processes. So suppose there are n rows and n columns. So total elements will be n square element. So total there will be n square processes. Total there will be n square processes. Now see, this vector, now we will assume whatever the processes which are holding last column of this matrix, they also have this vector value. In the sense, this element, so whatever the process who is possessing this element also have this element. Whatever the process who has this element also has this element. Whatever the process who has this element have this element. So processes who are holding this last column of matrix, they are also holding this vector. Now see, to multiply these two vectors, so anyhow we are using multiple processes, so this computation will be done parallelly. How it will be done? Now see, that is the first step that we have to do, that is one to one communication. Now what do you mean by one to one communication? So already I have told, these vector values are held by these processes. Now what these processes will do, this process will share this value to this process. This value will get shared to this process. This value is shared to this process. Here you can see diagonally. So look at it. Now in this case, every element has separate process. Every process is holding one element from this matrix. Now what we'll do, first step is one to one communication. That means, so process, so this element is held by this process. So what it will do, it will share with this process. This process is holding this value, so it will share with this diagonally, this diagonal process. This process is holding this value, so it will share with this process. Here you can see this process is holding this value, it will share with this process. This process is holding this value, it will share with this. So it will keep with itself only. So these elements, so these are the vector elements, they are shared diagonally. Here you can see they are shared diagonally. So for that we require one to one communication. So these processes, they are sharing with the processes which are holding these diagonal elements. So here processes which are holding diagonal elements. Here you can see. So this is how vector is distributed. So this is a one-to-one communication. This is the one-to-one communication. So that is the first step. In next step, so already I have told in previous step that we have seen. So for multiplication, we require these elements and these elements, these elements and these elements. So we require complete vector. Now see, in next step, what will be done? Process which is holding this value, it will broadcast it to all the processes. Process which is holding this value, it will broadcast with the all the processes. Process who is holding this value, which will broadcast to all the processes. Again same, this process will broadcast this value to all the processes. So that's why we are saying it one to all broadcast. This process is sharing with all the processes. This process is sharing this value to all the processes in this column. This process is sharing to all the other processes in this column. That is one to all broadcast. All broadcast in the sense, in that column, processes in that column. After that, so this process, now look at this. Processes got these values. So this process will have the first value of the vector. So it will find out the multiplication. This process already it has that particular value and also got second value of the vector. It will find out that value. It will perform multiplication of those values. This process already it has that this value. So zeroth row and third column. So already it has zeroth row and second column. So already it has that value, and also because of this all to all broadcast, it has got third value of the vector. So it will find out the one multiplication. In the same way, every processes will do one multiplication. After that, now see, all this result should get collected to the processes which are holding this column element. So these column processes finally they will have the resultant matrix or result. So what they will do, this process has calculated this multiplication. Now that should get transferred to this process. This process has done some multiplication, that should get transferred to this process. This process has done multiplication, that should get transferred to this process. Again, same. All the processes will transfer that multiplication, intermediate multiplication to these processes. And for that, they require all to one reduction. Why all to one reduction? Because all these processes they're sharing this value to one process. All these processes they're sharing this value to one process. All these processes they're sharing this value to one process. All the processes sharing this value to one process. And finally, these processes will have final result. Okay. So just I'm giving summary of this. So here it is a 2D partitioning. So what we are doing here, all the elements are allocated to individual separate process. So suppose there are n rows and n columns. So total elements are n square. Total number of elements are n square. So we are taking n square processes. One process will have one element. Another process will have another element. So this is the one process holding that value. Another process holding that value. And this is a vector. Initially, this vector is held by the processes who are holding this last column. So whatever the process who is holding this value is also holding this vector. Whatever the process who is holding this value is also holding this value. Now see, first step that we require is a one-to-one communication. So processes those are holding this value, they will communicate with this. So this value will get communicated or transferred or shared with this process. This value will get shared with this process. This value will get shared with this process. This value will get shared with this process. So here you can see diagonally these processes are shared. So here is one-to-one communication. Here it is one-to-one communication. Here one-to-one communication you can see. After that, now see, for finding result, every process require all values of this vector. So we need to transfer all this value to all the other processes. So for that, now see, this process require this second vector value because this process will multiply this value with this value. Now see, this process will multiply this value into this value. This process will multiply this value with this value. So they require this value. So processes which are holding this value, they also require this value. Processes in this column which are holding this value, they also require this value of the vector. So this value should get broadcast to all the other processes. This value should get broadcasted to all the other processes. This value should get broadcasted to all the other values. And that's why we require one to all broadcast. So this process will broadcast this value to all the processes. This process will broadcast this value to all the other processes. This process will broadcast this value to all the other processes. So this value means these are the values from the vector. These are the elements of vector. Here you can see. So now all elements of vector are shared to these processes. So every process, now this process, what they will do. So the process already it has some value, so it will multiply that value with first value of vector. This process already it has some value, it will multiply with the second value of vector. This process already it has some value, it will multiply with the third value of vector. In the same way, your all processes they will perform one multiplication. Now see, we have to do addition of all these value. We have to perform addition of all these value. So see, those addition and final result are accumulated, are collected in by these processes. So see, this value should get transferred to this value. This value should get transferred to this process. This value should get shared with this process. This value also should get shared with process, and this process finally will sum up all these value. In the same way, all these values should get transferred to this process, and this process will find out addition of all these values. So for that, we require all to one reduction. That is the third step. That is the all to one reduction. That means all these values are transferred to one process. All these values are transferred to one process. All these values should get transferred to one process. So that is the third step. That is all to one reduction. So in 2D partitioning, we require these three steps: one to one communication, one to all broadcast, and all to one reduction. Okay. So in this case, how many processes that we have considered? So total elements were n square, n rows and n columns. So total number of elements were n square. So we have considered n square processes. But what if suppose whatever the processes that we have are lesser than these n square elements? So total number of elements are n square. But suppose our processes are smaller than n square. So in that situation, what we'll do, each process will have some block. So see here it is shown. So it will have some block of elements. So every process, instead of having one element, it will have this block of element. Another process will have this block of element. Third process will have this block of element. So see, so every process, so we are assuming suppose there are p processes which is smaller than n square processes, n square element. So every process will have these many elements are that is that block. So that is number of rows, number of column, n by root p, n by root p into n by root p. So that every process will have this block like this. Suppose number of processes are smaller than the n square, that is total number of elements. So one process will have such kind of block, another process will have such kind of block, third process will have some block. So what will be the size of that block? It will be like this: n by root p into n by root p. That will be the size of the block. So in this way, matrix vector multiplication is done parallelly, and for that there are two techniques. One is row wise 1D partitioning, and another is 2D partition. So friends, I hope you like this video. If is, then click on like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press bell icon so that you will get notification of my next video. So stay connected. Thank you.